Good evening and welcome to this presentation of Soldier Stories. It is the 2024 NLCS Game 6 live from Dodger Stadium in LA. Anthony Soldier alongside on this beautiful night for baseball. 77 degrees as the sun is golden hour now. It is gorgeous there. Ready for some action on a Sunday night. Yesterday we had college football. Today we had the NFL. But the one constant through this weekend has been MLB baseball. Last night, the Yankees punched their ticket to the World Series for the first time in 15 years. And tonight, the Dodgers look to do the same, while the Mets look to send this to a Game 7. It is time for action in LA. CJ in the chat saying, hey, everybody. CJ, welcome in. It is a great time to be alive. Sorry about the tech loss, but that's kind of expected yesterday. So, yeah, about 5 minutes away from first pitch, we will have American Football Network with us to discuss this game in just a few moments. And yeah, Coach's Magic saying vertical format. I'll have to look into that and look into those numbers. Maybe we'll try it sometime. But from a visual perspective, at least on like most devices, on a phone, it might. I don't know. The horizontal look usually works pretty well. 6 of you in here already. Welcome in. It is a gorgeous night for baseball, as you can see behind. But it does show, if I go into this, there we go. It does show how beautiful Dodger Stadium is with the LA skyline. The Pacific Ocean in LA, it's just a sight to see. And how about those Chiefs? Great win. We'll get into some NFL scores later. We will get into some college football scores. We'll get into what's happening this coming week because there's a lot to talk about in the sports world. But we are 4 minutes away from first pitch. And then this is going to be a big one. The Mets. They have been incredible this postseason from the start. I mean, look at what they did to my beloved Brewers in the wild card. Pete Alonso, man. When he jacked that, insane. And then also living here in Philadelphia, was pulling for the Phillies to beat him. Well, that didn't happen because Francisco Lindor exists. And the Mets have just been relentless. If there's a word to describe them, it's that. It is just flat out relentless from the first pitch of game 1 of the wild card to tonight. And we'll see if they can continue that going forward here. And then on the Dodgers side, it's kind of expected, I'd say. I mean, they were that team who was the number 1 seed. But I thought the Padres were going to beat them, honestly, just because of their past series against San Diego and San Diego's playoff successes compared to LA's in the last few years. But the Dodgers won that series. They play better. I mean, it's that simple. They just outplayed the Padres. It was a fun one to watch, though. Every pitch was great. And now we're here. It is Game 6. First 5 have been incredible to watch. The Dodgers lead 3-2 coming into tonight. That's how they can clinch their ticket to the World Series. But, yeah, I mean, as we see CJ and Steven both saying, go Dodgers here in the chat. Here's my thing about this series. It's like, going into it, I wanted the Dodgers to win. But now that the Yankees have punched their ticket, it would be awesome to watch a Subway Series, World Series. For anyone who's not 24 years old, they've never seen it. So it'll be fun. C and J saying go Mets. It's like, I want the Dodgers to win, but as I said, for the sake of a Subway Series, it would be awesome. So I'm looking for a good baseball game tonight. I've never been able to stand the Dodgers. I mean, they're a very classy organization. I give their ownership, I give their front office, I give Dave Roberts a ton of credit. Clayton Kershaw, I give a lot of credit. Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, like they win with class, right? And they're They're very much that way, but they just win so much, and they just have so much money, and it's just like you want someone else to win, but at the same time with the Mets, as I said, I live in Philly, so you got that clash right there. So it'll be interesting as we're about a minute from first pitch here in LA. Yeah. So CJ saying boo Mets and boo Yankees. Steven, I don't want injury on anyone at all. Even my worst enemy, Jesse Winker. I don't want injury on. But yes, he is classless. And he's kind of a winner, though, this postseason. Hate to say that, but yeah, he turns me the wrong way. But man, like Jose Iglesias, I mean Edwin Diaz hasn't been great, but like the narco thing a couple years ago, Grimace is something I just don't get. I like that was a year old when the Mets brought it in, and it works, but it's not that funny. It's kind of funny, but not incredibly entertaining. I'm trying to think of what else. With the Mets, like as I said, the OMG thing, it's like the song is very positive. We saw Iglesias talk about that with the Bat Boys. For anyone who follows them on their socials, shout out to them. Go check out those guys. They're awesome. On YouTube and Instagram, and they're probably on. I'm not on TikTok, but they're probably on there. I couldn't tell you. But yeah, so it's fun as we see some Mets guys getting ready to bat here. Tom Verducci in front of them talking about this game coming up, and we see Sean Manaea heading to the dugout, getting ready for action. C&J saying, haha, Jesse Winker. Yup, that's the man that Milwaukeeans don't like very much, if we're being honest. But yeah, so we're just kind of looking around, seeing what's going on right now. As we see the Mets batting order, let's talk about Lindor, Nimmo, Vientos, Alonso, Winker, Marte, Taylor, McNeil, Alvarez. It's a really solid order. And we've seen how good Lindor's been. Mark Vientos is also really solid. As we get ready for first pitch, Kopech throws the first pitch. It is a 1-0 count to Lindor. 2-0 count now to the Mets shortstop. He's batting 300 this season, this series with a homer, 2 RBIs, and a 941 OPS this postseason, batting 277. Now a 3-0 count to Lindor to start this game off. Do I validate parking? No. Go Pack Guy. True North. That's all I have to say to that. Go Pack Guy. And that's ball 4. So the Mets start here with a man on. C&J, former Red 2. Yes, Jesse Winker. He's popped around a little bit. He has popped around for sure. So now man on here as we see Rackley, Jeremy Rehawk, Mike Malinsky, and I couldn't read the rest of the crew, so hopefully no one bad on the something crews. Brandon Nimmo up to the plate. And we will start off with a strike here in the second at-bat of the game. This series, Nimmo batting .211. Kopech the pitch. That is way upstairs. And Lindor will easily take second base here at Dodger Stadium. So a solid start here for the Mets against Kopech, who just looks out of control thus far. Through to 1.5 batters, essentially. He's not done with this count yet. Pitch from Kopech. It's going to be a grounder to second. Bobbled, but it is in time to Max Muncy there at first base. And let's actually go ahead and take a look at the Dodgers defensive lineup as Mark Vientos comes up to the plate for New York. If I just pull this up very quickly here. Let's see if I can grab this here. There we go. Catching for the Dodgers, it is, of course, well, their catcher, it's Will Smith. Then at first base, Max Muncy, as I mentioned. At second base, Chris Taylor, who has been here for a lot of runs. 0-1 count to Vientos. The second pitch on its way. That is low. At third base, it is another longtime Dodger, Kike Hernandez. At shortstop, the new Dodger. He's been with the team for the 2024 season. Tommy Edmond. In left field, it's Teoscar Hernandez, who we all know and love from the Home Run Derby. That one's high, 2-1 count. In center field, it is Andy Pages. And in right, it's the man we all know and love, Mookie Betts, here for the Dodgers. Shohei leading off and DHing, as everyone knows. Here we go. 2-1 count now to Vientos. That one is way high and inside. 3-1 count. Just Kopech isn't looking good here. Looks like something is off. Something's not clicking for Kopech. As another just out of control throw. The 3-1 pitch, that one is fouled off. So full count now with one out here in the first inning. Dodger Stadium now, the fans starting to rise to their feet, getting excited. And that's a swing and a miss. Michael Kopech with his first strikeout of the day. 2 outs in the top of the first. The pitch to the cleanup man, the polar bear, Pete Alonso, is a strike. It is 0-1. Pete Alonso batting .222 this series, .250 this postseason. And the pitch is right down the middle. Strike 2 on a 98-mile-per-hour fastball there from Kopech. So now 1 strike away for Michael Kopech from ending the inning as the Dodger faithful are waving their towels and on their feet. Kopech the pitch. It is a ball so close. The Dodger fans wanted it, but it's a 1-2 count now. And the fans not happy with that call. As Alonso steps out, takes a moment to regroup. The 1-2 pitch to Alonso. Fouled off again. So Pete Alonso staying alive after he fouled off that fastball from Kopech. A 17-pitch first inning this thus far for the Dodger starter. As we see that beautiful shot of Chavez Ravine in LA. The 1-2. That one is sent into the infield. Taylor has it. It's a wild throw. A man will come home. The Mets lead 1-0 on a Pete Alonso double. Wow, that was insane. As he just hit a blooper between the pitcher and the infielder. It dropped Taylor, barehanded it, and just threw it a little bit wild, and Muncy there just wasn't able to get there. Lindor comes home, and Taylor Yave is just wild, kind of. It wasn't that wild of a throw. I think it's a bit on both, but that was insane to watch there as Jesse Winker comes up. It is ruled a hit. And now it is Winker up for the Mets with 2 outs of the first. That one is high. So 2-0 count out of Winker. By the way, note for the first baseman with the Dodgers, who's the guy who's usually the first baseman, Freddie Freeman. He's been dealing with a sprained right ankle that he suffered in the regular season. So he's out today, just still dealing with that injury. That's a strike there. So a 2-2 count now. And the energy is back in Dodger Stadium, it looks like a little bit, as they try to just hold the Mets to 1 here in the top of the first. The 2-2 pitch to Winker. It is high and outside. Full count now to the Mets batter. And I think center. Is he playing center field or left field tonight? Or right field? I forget which. Let's look. Oh, he's DHing. That makes sense. The pitch. That one's high. And Winker walks. So 2 guys on now. Kopech. 24 pitches this evening thus far here in the first inning. And they're going to have to talk about this one. It is, who is that? Mark Pryor, the pitching coach for LA, out to talk about it with Kopech. Mark Pryor, of course, a man that baseball fans will recognize. The former Cubs pitcher from 03 to 06. Had a 3.51 ERA in 657 innings pitched. So 2 outs now. It will be Starling Marte to bat, and we are now joined by our guest. It is Lincoln from American Football Network. Lincoln, what's up, man?
How you doing, man?
Good, as we see Marte said 1 to right field, right to Mookie Betts, and that will end the top of the first. We'll stay on here, though, to kind of talk here through this break quickly. Did you see what the Mets just did and the chaos that just ensued at Dodger Stadium?
No, I didn't. I just turned the game on, and it was going to the bottom of the first.
Okay, so Pete Alonso hit one up through. He hit one. What's the best way to explain this? He hit it like between Taylor. He hit it like kind of think just short of second base, but still in the grass.
Okay.
And Taylor had a tough play. Kind of threw it wild, but I thought Muncy was going to get it at first because he's in for Freddie Freeman tonight at first base. And he just couldn't get it. Throw went wild. Lindor scored. And Kopech had a 25 pitch first inning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely a good start for the Mets. One you wanted, make the pitcher throw a lot of pitches and get a run on the board to put the pressure on.
For sure, number one football show saying hi. But yeah, so great Great start for the Mets. But while we're on the break, I said we talk about this at some point. What a weekend of football thus far. As Sunday Night Football kicking off right now in the NFL, but yesterday we had Indiana's 56-7 win over Nebraska. We had Tennessee beat Bama 24-17. We had Illinois beat Michigan 21-7. Iowa State surviving UCF 38-35. And then number 5 Georgia going to Texas and winning 30-15. You watched more college football than I did yesterday. What were your thoughts on the slate of games and what happened?
Yeah, I thought so. 12 o'clock, I was mainly watching Clemson, Virginia, since I'm a Clemson fan, but that Miami-Louisville game was crazy. Louisville was down 31-17, and within the span of about 2.5 minutes, we were tied at 31, and that one was just a wild game. I thought Tennessee-Bama was a great game, a very good defensive game. It was, I believe 7-0 at halftime. A very good defensive game. Those defenses were very stingy, both of them. And then the nightcap, I did not expect that one at all. I quit watching at halftime. Georgia was up 23-0 on Texas at halftime. I thought there was no way that Georgia went into Austin and got a win, but they proved the whole country wrong.
Yeah, and they move up to number 3 in the rankings. So Oregon, the number 1 team, and Penn State, number 2. As Penn State's going to have a big matchup against OSU in a couple weeks. So pretty solid rankings, chaos in the rankings so far. As Ohtani up, it is a 1-1 count to him. Sean Benet, as I mentioned, the starter for the Mets. And for the Dodgers this evening, it is Ohtani DHing Betts in right, Teoscar Hernandez in left. Edmond batting cleanup at short, batting 5th at first base. Max Muncy batting 6th at third base. Kike Hernandez batting 7th in center. Andy Pius. And then at 8th, it is Will Smith catching, batting 9th, the second baseman, Chris Taylor. 1-2 count now to Ohtani. No out here at the bottom of the first. Manaea, the pitch. It is outside 2-2 after the sinker. But yeah, that
okay, good. I was a little bit ahead of you, but I backed it up just a little bit, and actually, I think got it basically perfect.
Perfect, awesome. As Ohtani's going to send one into the gap, a man on to start for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the first, and that's the life you want to see early here from your superstar, one of the best players. I mean, this guy's going to go down as one of the best players in baseball history.
Oh, without a doubt.
So it's incredibly special to be able to watch him. But while you were watching college football, I was on the field at the oldest stadium in college football. And that was quite a night. St. Joe's Prep, my high school, getting the win over Roman Catholic 48-20 and moving from number 9 in the state to number 4 today. So pretty happy about that one.
Yeah, that sounded like a very cool experience. Just seeing the pictures and everything you said, that looks really cool.
Yeah, and I mentioned Penn State, getting to meet James Franklin was awesome, and he was a super nice guy. Like I didn't know what to expect from him. You know, you never really know what to expect from a college coach, or I mean, a coach of any kind or a celebrity of any kind. But we were kind of walking on the track, and he was walking on the field and said hello to us, and then a little bit later, we went up to him and said hi, and got to chat for, I don't know, 2 minutes or so. Just, it was nice to be able to kind of talk to him and say good luck with the rest of the season. Now, inside, I'm thinking, I hope you lose next week to Wisconsin. But it was awesome to see him, and he was walking the sidelines throughout the game there for the Preps. Cam Smith, who's going to Penn State. As that one is inside on Betts, a 1-2 count now here, with a man on first and no out in the bottom of the first. But yeah, I can't believe though while at high school games I missed, or either while at high school games or at events for my grade school, I missed Bama, Georgia, Vandy, Bama, and Georgia, Texas. So I've been on the bad end, I guess you would say, of the luck of scheduling thus far. I
Yeah,
won't have to worry.
you've missed some good ones.
I'll be missing game one of the World Series Friday night. But I won't be missing as there's a strikeout of Mookie Betts. He's not too happy with himself there. So I'm gonna miss game one of the World Series, but I will be fully attentive for next Saturday's slate of games for college football. And then we've got a bye week, and then I think November 9th we have a game. If we make the championship game for our league, as Teoscar Hernandez up to the plate, starting off here with a 1-0 count in and out. But yeah, getting to I walked the track. First thing I did was go up to the press box and just kind of see I was expecting it to be somewhat renovated, but the tables were wooden. It was old. As Hernandez sends one to center, it is off the wall. Shohei heading to third, and Teoscar Hernandez with a single, putting a man into scoring position. But Isaac,
that's one of those. It's like, man, you wish he could have got to second on that one, hit it off the wall in center field. But I mean, he kind of jogged. He thought it was gone, and Ohtani couldn't really go because it could have been caught. That was kind of an awkward bounce. Just the way
sure.
the way it played.
And Taylor played that really well.
He did. Played it as good as you possibly could.
Yeah. So, but yeah, as I was saying, the tables were wooden, the tables we were using. I was expecting some nice stuff here, but this was you had to go through kind of some sketchy metal steps to get up there that were kind of old and had to there were just random beams in the middle of the thing that you had to duck and some venting that you had to duck under to get into the booth. So it was old school, which was fun. But then got to just walk the track a couple times and really feel that, and then be able to kind of walk on the field, go grab some food in the concession stands, and kind of just feel out the whole place. And yeah, Franklin Field, for anyone who's ever coming into Philly, Franklin Field is awesome. You got to go there. And I think it's open to the public most days to walk the track during the afternoons, depending on the practice schedule. But yeah, so True North saying NJ Packers game. Yep, I have that on my second screen here as the Jets take on the Steelers in Pittsburgh. But yeah. So Lincoln, I forgot to ask you your prediction on this game. Who do you have winning this thing?
No, he's obviously in some trouble here right now, but I'm going with the Mets because I think Manaea has I think they have the edge at starting pitcher. Now obviously this right here might ruin my whole prediction to start right here. It might just ruin it. But I'd go with the Mets because I feel like their starting pitching is going to be better in this game. So I'm going with the Mets. And as far as who I'm cheering for, I said at the start of both of them that I was cheering for the Mets and the Yankees just because neither one of my teams are in. I just want to see a Subway Series.
That's what I said earlier as we see a run come in for LA. It's off the wall. Took an awkward bounce. Hernandez on his way home. He is safe. The Dodgers lead 2-1 on a double there from Tommy Edmond, the cleanup shortstop here. And now the Dodgers take back the lead in a game where they can punch their ticket to the Fall Classic. But yeah, I wanted going into this the Dodgers to win, but then I saw the Yankees win, and I'm like, it would be cool to see a Subway Series. So I'm kind of neutral because I don't like the Mets. I don't like the Dodgers. I'm just looking for good baseball. My prediction, though,
that's what I'm about to say. I don't like either team, so I'd rather see a Subway Series, but I wouldn't mind the Dodgers either because I mean that's just historic. The most historic team in the NL versus the most historic team from the AL.
Muncy sends one to Tyrone Taylor. Will there be a tag? No, there will not. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. But yeah, I'd agree with you on the Yankees Dodgers comment as well. But yeah, I'm just looking for good baseball. I'm picking the Dodgers to win this game. But it's going to be a fun Sunday night game here as Pittsburgh, by the way, leads the Jets 3-0 in the Steel City. Both teams I like wearing the throwback unis this evening in Sunday Night Football.
Yes.
Steelers with the block lettering. Jets just wearing the classic. I love. I if the Jets went with those as their full road, like full-time road jerseys, I wouldn't be mad with it. I really like that look.
I do too. I really like them.
So Kike Hernandez now up here in this game, 300 average this series, a 310 average over this postseason. 1-0 count to Hernandez. The second pitch is going to be a strike after a swing and a miss. 1-1 now. But yeah. So I'll ask for your thoughts after the pitch here as Minai's going to pitch one to Hernandez. That's going to be foul. Thoughts on the NFL slate of games today? I mean, I watched both the Packers game and then the end of that Lions-Vikings game. Those were 2 great ones.
Yeah, I watched the Packers game. Great game. Love to see Jair back it up. They shut Stephon Diggs down today. I think he had, 2 catches for 23 yards or 3 catches for 23 yards, something like that. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. The defense contained C.J. Stroud. I believe he was less than 50% completion percentage for 86 yards. Or he might have been just over 50%. He was somewhere around there. The run defense did give up a little bit. I think Mixon had over 120 yards rushing. So want to see that get a little bit better, and want to see the decision making from Jordan Love get a little bit better. Early on in his career, as far as the Packers quarterbacks, a lot of people saying, is he the next Aaron Rodgers? He kind of seems to me more like Brett Favre. He's going to make that bad decision somewhere along in the game, rather get it out of the way early. At least that's how it's been this year and some of the time last year as well. But good win for the Packers. And how about McManus in his first start with Green Bay with the game-winning field goal? Couldn't have wrote that one any better. Vikings Lions, great game to that one. I didn't catch a whole lot of that one. I was kind of on and off with it, and then I did catch a very good defensive battle. I did catch a very good defensive battle with the Chiefs Niners. That was a good one until late. About I would say a few minutes into the fourth quarter, the Chiefs started to pull away.
Yeah, so a full count here with 2 outs to Kike Hernandez, a man on second in the bottom of the first. Here we go. The pitch. It is ball 4. 2 guys on now with 2 outs. But yeah, so by the way, glad to see Jaden Daniels is okay, but prayers go out to Deshaun Watson. As I said with Jesse Winker, I can't stand the dude, but I don't wish injury on anyone. So sucks to see him go out for the year. And I mean, Lincoln, you're a Clemson guy. You know him better than I do, so give me your thoughts. But I think with that guaranteed money he has, if I'm him, I just hang up the cleats and take the guaranteed money.
I could see it. I mean, I think he could come back and play. He's obviously still pretty young.
That's true. He just hasn't.
I don't think he's 30 yet. Yeah, which is why it really sucks that this is the game that he got his season-ending injury in, because this was the best game he had played by far as a Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he was 10 of 12, 11 of 12 for 130 yards. Now didn't have any touchdowns or any picks. They were still struggling to score, but I think a lot of the problem with the Browns is not just Deshaun Watson. Obviously, he needs to play. He needed to play better than what he was doing. But I think too that there just wasn't there just wasn't a whole lot working there offensively for him at
Yeah.
any position, especially once you trade away Amari Cooper. Now you're down your best receiver. But I think this could be good for Cleveland. Get DTR in, kind of you figure out what you got in him.
Yeah. And I mean, and you got Jameis there too, right? So it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see what happens there as we have a 1-1 count, 2 outs. The number one football show saying Jets go 3 and out. First drive, man. Rodgers still bad. He's old. I think this is it for him. I mean, I love A-Rod. Like, again, off field I don't like the guy, but he's my quarterback. Like I've watched so much of him through my life. Like that's my childhood QB, and I'm always gonna love him for that. So I want to see him do the best, but it just doesn't look good for him right now. As it's a 2-1 count now to Pajes. Is it Pajes? Pajes? I think it's Pajes, right?
I think so.
I'm gonna look this up.
I've heard it I've heard it said multiple ways. So, it's one of those names. It's kind of hard to tell what it is. It's just kind of what the announcer in the game is saying, I guess.
According to Google, it's Andy Pages.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. I think it's Paez. Paez. I think it's Paez. As he sends one sky high, Alonso trying to track it down. It is fair and it is caught. That will end the bottom of the first. At the end of one inning, it is the Dodgers 2, the Mets 1 right here on Sorgy Stories. We will be back after the break with some second inning action. back here for second inning action in LA as Tyrone Taylor up to the plate now for the Dodgers. Man, Lincoln, I was just thinking about this. There's something so contagious about not only playoff baseball. Like, I've been sitting here the whole playoffs, and even if it's not my team, when I see a homer, I just get on my feet and just, like, my mind goes crazy just watching these homers. But there's something special about playoff baseball to me in two places: Dodger Stadium and Yankee Stadium. There's just something special about those two atmospheres. Dodger Stadium, as the sun sets on an October night in the 70s, just like tonight. And for Yankee Stadium, just a prime time baseball in the Bronx.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, that goes back to the history I was talking about earlier with them. Like when you go back and you look at a lot of the great players that have played this game, a lot of them and a lot of their Hall of Fame moments in their career come from World Series between the Dodgers and the Yankees. An old historic rivalry from way a long time ago, but it's also one of those things too. I think the Dodgers Yankees in the World Series is great for the popularity of baseball, just because everybody knows the Dodgers and everybody knows the Yankees, whether you watch baseball or you might not be able to name any team from the MLB, but you can name it either the Yankees or the Dodgers for sure. And so I think that would be good. But yeah, these two stadiums, these two atmospheres, either that is the one thing I am excited about is with the NLCS, regardless of which one of these teams wins, we're gonna have great storylines and a great, just a great series.
Exactly.
For whoever plays the Yankees.
Taylor Jackson on the left, but Teoscar Hernandez under it, the first out of the inning complete. As 12 people in here, man, this is awesome to have everyone in here. People watch baseball. It's proven. Look at the TV rating numbers. And it's fun as we see an update on Sunday Night Football. Jets fumbling the punt. It goes out of bounds. And Baseball Road Tripper, what is up? It is awesome to be here, and is on the scores this night, as I said, for baseball. But as you're talking about with history between these two teams, they met in 1941, 47, 49, 52, 53, 55, 56, 63, 77, 78, and 81. And the Yankees, if I look, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2. The Yankees 8-3 in those World Series. But who knows? We can get a Subway Series for the second time ever. And that would be special as well. So as you said with the storylines, either way, it's going to be absolutely awesome.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Now, I'm excited for it.
From McNeil, 2 outs now here in the 8th. But Baseball Road Tripper, what do you think about this? I mean, if there's a person who knows baseball, it's this guy. What do you think? As he says, also, let's go Doyers. What do you think about this? This series and the World Series, Tony. Let us know your thoughts. And yeah.
So Anthony, I got a question for you. So I've only been to 3 MLB stadiums. I've been to Nats Park, I've been to Turner Field, and I've been to Truist Park.
Okay.
But I know you've been to more. So of Yankee Stadium, Dodger Stadium, and the Mets Stadium, who do you think? How would you rank them? I don't remember if you've been to the Mets, the Citi Field, or not. But how would you rank them?
So and by the way, me and my stupidity just realized that Doyers is Dodgers in Spanish. So not literally, but figuratively. In the way that some fans say that's like their rally cry. So let's go Doyers is let's go Dodgers. But my mom was pregnant with me when my parents went to LA to the stadium. So I just haven't seen it, but I've watched enough about it and I've heard enough about it to make a pretty good judgment on it. Yankee Stadium is awesome. Like, it's not my favorite stadium, but it ranks decently high. I need to find my rankings of my stadiums that I've been to. as that one is going to be a walk there. Is that Francisco Alvarez? Yes, it is. So a man on with 2 outs now for the Mets. So I don't have Dodger Stadium in my rankings, but I have Yankee Stadium at number 9, and Citi Field at number 13. Citi Field, I gave a 7.8 out of 10. I gave Yankee Stadium an 8.3 out of 10.
Okay.
So that one's a bit outside on Lindor. And then I think I'd take Dodger Stadium over either of them, even though I haven't been there. It just looks awesome. So that's probably how I'd rank it. But yeah, so there is a single now, so 2 guys on now for the Mets with 2 outs. Baseball Road Trooper saying, if Ohtani gets MVP this year and a ring, then gets Cy Young and repeat World Series next year, is he the GOAT of all GOATs? It'd be pretty hard to argue.
Yeah, it would be. It would be.
Argue. And yeah, Baseball Road Trooper said, like, my favorite, like, my top 5 stadiums that I've seen and been to, like, in person are Fenway, PNC, Camden, Wrigley, and the Bank here in Philly. But like the lowest ranked stadium I have, and I have the Coliseum is a 2 out of 10. It's a dump, but I loved it. And then I had Guaranteed Rate Field at a 4.3, but then everything else is at least a 6.7 out of 10. I gave Angel Stadium exactly a 6.7. And everything above that is at least a 7.5. So, like, it's hard to find a bad baseball stadium.
Yeah, for sure. So I've obviously never been to either of the 3. Yankee Stadium and Dodger Stadium, definitely places I want to go at some point and go watch a baseball game. But I think I would have them ranked the same way you do, just from looking at them and kind of just seeing them from the outside and just kind of looking at pictures and that kind of. I think I would have them in the same order.
Yeah, the 2-out pitch there hit sky high by Nimmo. We will head here to the bottom of the second. Guess who's up, Lincoln? Shohei Ohtani. The best player in baseball, the best guy we've seen in a while. And yeah, so as we see Jackson saying, "What's up, Sorgy Story Nation?" It's, by the way, the Jets just scored a touchdown. Breece Hall getting in there. So it is now 7-3 after the PAT. New York leads Pittsburgh. But yeah, number 1 football show, nice. But yeah, so it's been a great game thus far. And yeah. So so we haven't talked about that actually. I think you talked about that a bit on your stream because I dropped something in the comments about that a couple weeks ago. But yeah, so I don't see the point in going back to the Trop. I don't. Lincoln, I mean, what do you think? Like, do you see any point in going back there?
I don't either. I mean, with the money you're gonna have to spend to repair that field,
yeah,
from the hurricane damage, especially when you're building a new stadium already, I don't see a point in going back either. I don't. Especially when you consider the fact too, it's not like it held a significantly large amount of fans and you were selling it out every home game. It's not like you had 30,000-40,000 fans in there every single day watch it like it. So I wouldn't see the point in them going back there.
I think what they need to figure out is, like, I think it makes sense to play in Florida like April, May, September, but like June through August, I don't think they can play outside in Florida. So that's the one thing they need to figure out is where are you gonna to be able to play during the summer.
Yeah, and see, my first thoughts were maybe do you play at one of the spring training parks, but they just don't have enough stands.
Yeah, like I think you could play in a spring training park possibly, as I said, for those like months in Florida. But for the summer, you need to find a place that's not where it's going to be 100 degrees.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you could say play in Oakland, but if we're being honest, like I feel like the A's game there should have been like the last baseball game played. Like that should just be it. Like send it off on a good note. Um, but I mean, like where else could you play possibly? Like because again, it's not going to be much better in North Carolina or Alabama or South Carolina or Tennessee than it will be. And I mean, maybe Tennessee, but you get my point. Like, it's not going to be much better anywhere in the South.
Although I would love for them to come take over the Drive Stadium and play. I would actually go.
It would be fun. Um, so it's tough, yeah, and it'll be hard to keep the people happy and on board, season ticket holders happy. Got to keep it local, as that's going to be a grounder from Will Smith for the first out here. MLB schedule is kind of locked in too, so it's kind of hard. Oakland doesn't work since that's a crap ton of travel for Eastern teams. So the question is, where do you go on the East, right? Like, as I said, you could do Charlotte, but you know better than I would. Charlotte's pretty hot during the summer, isn't it? So
Yeah. But I mean, it's Charlotte. Charlotte is not going to be hot like Florida. Charlotte's going to be just as hot as it's going to be in a lot of the other places. It's going to be the same as it is in Atlanta.
yeah,
Um, um, but and I actually have been to the Charlotte Knights Stadium, and it's a pretty nice stadium that they have there. That one could potentially work.
yeah. Like it's Tampa during the summer is an average of 91 degrees and 14 days of rain usually, but for Charlotte, it's below 90s. That's going to be a single from Chris Taylor. That'll put a man on for Shohei Ohtani. And only 7 days of rain there. So yeah.
But see, that begs the question. All right, so now where did the Charlotte Knights go?
Exactly. It just becomes
Which it is possible that you move the Knights to Charlotte University.
true. I mean, I would say like the only place I could think of that would be open, but it's far for East Coast teams, would be Omaha, because no one uses no one uses the College World Series stadium other than the Creighton Blue Jays and the College World Series. So, but that's so far for East Coast teams. Like I'm thinking maybe Nashville works because that's somewhat eastern and the weather there isn't that bad. So yeah, like Nashville's nice during this. It's about the same as Charlotte during the summer. So I don't know.
Or here's another idea. Is it possible that they could do enough renovations and it would be cheap enough to where they could just kind of turn it into an open ballpark?
at the
I haven't really seen what all like that the total damage was. I just saw headlines that the roof was ripped off. So is it
the
possible that
biggest
they could
issue is the
renovate
roof.
it? What's
Yes.
that?
I said the biggest issue is the roof, but again, like that doesn't help your idea for midsummer when it's going to be really hot. Like it still screws that up.
Yeah.
I mean, playing in Chicago, I would that'd be interesting. Play where the Dolphins play. Again, no roof. Well, they have a roof, but it's not like fully enclosed. It's still the field's still not great. I mean, what about like how hot is Jacksonville during the summer? Because I know they have a really nice stadium there. It's like 5 degrees less. Yeah, exactly. That's the issue. No drainage, so rain would just fly.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
So the question
Yeah, I
is
didn't
like
think about that.
Jacksonville. Do we like that? It's still in Florida. Nice ballpark. Downtown.
Here's the thing: is I don't think the heat is going to be a big deal because the heat's only going to really matter when the sun is out, which is going to be for the day games. And
True.
the only people going to the day games in the summer, just any day game for baseball, regardless, are generally diehard fans who are gonna go whether it's 200 degrees
Yeah.
out or 20 degrees out.
Unless it's a Sunday.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the only difference. Cody saying what up? Yeah. Cody, what is up, dude? Sorry about the loss yesterday for Bama. But yeah, so Mookie Betts up now, and that's going to be a stolen base for Chris Taylor. I guess Shohei got out. I missed that, but yeah, so that's a deep throw, incomplete there for the Jets. But yeah, so yeah, that's the issue with Florida is more rain and storms that hit in the evening. And Jacksonville just doesn't. They still get a decent amount, so you got to keep it somewhat southern. I'd say again, Nashville's an option. Um, Charlotte's an option. Raleigh's an option. I don't know if they could do this, but how cool would it be if they played at Rickwood Field in Birmingham?
Oh, that would be awesome.
If they could do that, I don't know if they can, but if they could do that, it would be incredible.
What I do wonder with them is I would say they're probably gonna try and find a college stadium to play at.
You think the Rays will?
That's what I wonder is if they're gonna try and find a college stadium because college is not gonna be in season in the summer for the most part. Now I know like the College World Series that's what I just thought of was with the College World Series stadium is the College World Series is going to be in like late June.
Yeah, and it would still be far away for like. I mean the
So like
biggest.
you'll have the teams for that are hosting the super regionals that would obviously be playing at their stadiums, which is also generally teams in the southeast who are hosting super regionals. But I mean, I feel like it would that might be one of the best options. Would to
So
maybe
the
find a
biggest.
because I know Florida has a good baseball field. Florida State now, obviously, like you said, with the storms and stuff, but Alabama has a nice stadium. Clemson has a nice stadium. North Carolina has a nice stadium. Like there's some good college baseball stadiums. Some that are honestly better than some of the minor league stadiums.
So Florida plays in a 7,000 seater. Um. So
Yeah,
that.
again, it's not they're not very big as far as seating, but they're nice venues.
Yeah, which I see. I mean, it would kind of make sense if they just played at their own spring training stadium. Like that would kind of be logical. Because they have their own facilities right there and they wouldn't have to move. But again, it's just the issue of the heat and the rain and just the combination of everything there. So it's just a question of what they're going to do. I guess we'll find out as we near the top of the third after the end of the inning there. Still too many rainouts. Got to have a roof in Florida. That's why. Yeah. So as I said, I think early season it makes sense to be playing. In early and late season makes sense to play in Florida, but it's a nightmare for the I mean, unless they wanted to, and I guess this is technically an option, if they wanted to just kind of like bounce around home fields a little bit and test different markets and kind of be a tester for Charlotte, test Nashville, test name the city that the MLB might be trying to think about. I mean, test Oakland, like just for a series against a West Coast team for like if you have a couple series like, then it would make sense to play out there. Test it. Just kind of travel around and see what's going on. Baseball, my only question about Puerto Rico is how good is the infrastructure? Like, I remember when the MLB played there and it wasn't great, and there was a lot, like, some power outages and stuff, so that's the only question there. End of the first, it's Jets 7, Steelers 3, yes. As Vientos hits one to short, and it'll be an easy out from Edmond to Alonso.
Oh, who started for the Steelers today? Was it Russell Wilson?
I don't know, honestly. It's a great question. Couldn't tell you. I saw Fields seemed like he was ready to go at one point, but he was on the sideline when they were on defense, so I'm not really sure.
Because honestly, forget Mike Tomlin's success and everything he's done, if he started Russell Wilson today, he should be fired tomorrow.
Yeah. So as I'm just quickly.
Okay, Michael says he started Wilson. Yeah, that's just a terrible move. Fields has been playing the best football he's played in his entire career. You bench him, and so now you ruin his confidence. You put in a guy who's not as good as him. That's another thing. Like, the Steelers' offensive struggles has nothing to do with Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Look at what he's dealing with: a garbage offensive line, a running. I mean, Najee Harris is a solid back, but he's barely been in the league, but he's already kind of washed up. He has one good receiver, and honestly, George Pickens makes crazy good catches, but I don't think anybody would have him as a top 20 receiver in the league.
Yeah, and we see Pete Alonso forcing an error there of Tommy Edmond, so he gets on base here. But yeah, the Steelers offense, the Steelers rely way too much on defense. As Kasparius, how do you say that dude's name? I didn't even realize he was pitching. Let me see how.
Yeah, I think he came in last inning.
Yeah, I just realized that. Let's see, who was that there? Kasparius. There you go. It was Ben Kasparius, who came in, and now it's going to be Anthony Banda, who has a 3.08 ERA and 50 strikeouts on the year in 49 and 2/3 innings. But yeah, that's the thing about good enough to have MLB games as long as they don't have a hurricane should be okay. Last time they had a storm force the power outages to happen. So yeah, Puerto Rico's a risk, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens kind of going forward there.
I mean, you're gonna get great crowds down there.
Yeah, you'll get people going down there. I mean, Puerto Rico loves baseball. That's just part of it. Is we see the Jets starting off their drive here with a run. As I think, it's just pitching change. I was about to say, are we heading to the bottom of the third? But now we're here in a pitching change. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to talk about the NFL today. I don't think so. We got 2 Monday night games. Also, this is crazy. The NBA starts this week. So
yeah,
we're right back. I mean, I was looking at the schedule. I'm like, I wonder when the Bucks play next. And then it says Wednesday at the Sixers, 7:30 ESPN. I'm like, oh, okay, we're getting right into this. So there's a lot going on. The NHL, of course, underway. The MLS playoffs starting soon. Inter Miami, the favorites going into that with Messi and Suarez.
College basketball will be starting up pretty soon as well.
Exactly. So it's a great time to be a sports fan.
But 2 or 3 weeks, college basketball will be back, won't it?
Yeah, I think so. And the WNBA too for basketball fans. I haven't watched any games, but I've heard people talking about some pretty solid games. I need to go and check this here. Lynx up 34-27 over the Liberty at halftime. I'm rooting for the Liberty. I mean, I'm not a big WNBA guy. I like women's college basketball more. But that said, Sabrina Ionescu is so fun to watch. Like when she did the whole thing with Steph, like that was awesome. And she's a shooter. She's good to watch. She's fun to watch play basketball. So I was hoping that they get the win, but no disrespect to the Lynx. All up for Minnesota. That's going to be a low pitch there. to Winker to start it off. So 2-0 here with one out. Anthony Banda on the mound for Dave Roberts. Dodgers. Lincoln, what do you think here about the what do you think about the Dodgers kind of going bullpen game here in Game 6, saving a starter for Game 7? What do you think kind of about that strat?
I like it. So, like you said, you save a starter for Game 7 if you get there. But I think too, there's also an advantage. Now it is a little bit harder because you don't know if a guy's going to have it each night, coming out. But again, there's also the same risk with a starting pitcher. Obviously more risk in a bullpen game because you're running more guys out there. But for the most part, I like the idea of bullpen games because I mean, pretty much each time these guys are coming up to the plate, they're facing a new pitcher. And so you can't really get into a rhythm and really figure out one guy's strategy. It's hard to do that and really know what to look for when you go up there, as opposed to a guy who's in his second or third time around the order as a starting pitcher. But I think also, like I said, on the downside, you bring all these pitchers in, and if one or two of them doesn't have it that night, that may be the difference in the game.
Yeah, for sure. Um, and the good thing
Because
is
on the
also,
on the flip side, talking about the batters can't settle into the rhythm, the pitcher can never really establish a dominant stretch either. Whereas like for the Mets, Mania can get in a rhythm and start dominating. He has the potential to do that because he's going to go multiple, a long stretch of innings is what you're hoping for as the Mets. So I mean, he could go 5-6 innings, maybe seven, get in a good rhythm, and shut the Dodgers lineup down for the majority of the game before they throw somebody else in. So I think there's ups and downs to it, but I think when you have a bullpen like the Dodgers and you have the electric arms that they have, I think it's a good strategy to play here in Game 6.
yeah,
Especially with the comfort, too, that the Game 7's going to be at home.
yeah, for sure. So 0-2 count, one out here. Marte sends one to Chris Taylor. He has it. The runners will stay. So a man in scoring position as well as a man on first here with 2 outs, top of the third. But yeah, I mean, it's Tyrone Taylor up now for New York. I like the strategy for the Dodgers, but also you think about this. You go Monday, Tuesday. If they win tonight, it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then it'll be the 5th day. So you'll have plenty of rest for your entire staff.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Every arm will be available come the World Series.
Yeah, which is great for the Dodgers. I don't really see a world where they lose this series. Like, it feels like they're going to win this unless the Mets pull off the magic. But I guess they have pulled this entire playoffs. As I said, they've been relentless. That's what I opened it up with, was just how relentless they've been. As we have a 1-1 count now to Tyrone Taylor. But it feels like every time you think the Mets are done, like someone steps up.
They're really reminding me of the 2019 Nationals. You have the big name guy, but he's not. Pete Alonso and Francisco Lindor. They're big name guys, kind of like
Yeah,
Anthony Rendon was, but they're not on the level of a Shohei Ohtani or a Mike Trout or guys of that, or Aaron Judge, guys of that level. And it's like every single time you think, okay, well, yep, here goes the magical run's over, and it's like boom, here comes some random bat in the lineup that just absolutely wakes them up. For the Nationals, it was Howie Kendrick against the Dodgers, in that series. Like as a Nationals fan, if you'd have told me to pick a guy who was going to spark the offense, he would have been at the bottom of the list.
exactly.
And that's
Yes.
kind of how the Mets have been. It's been like the guys you least expect have been the guys sparking it. So I mean, it's the Mets, they have the heart and the fight in them to win it. It's obviously a tough challenge. I mean, they're down in this one, and regardless of if they win today, they're gonna have to face the the home crowd again tomorrow.
Yeah. So 2-2 count, 2 outs here. A big pitch to Tyrone Taylor is hitting him there, it looks like. So the bases are loaded. And if you're Anthony Banda, you're not too happy with this situation, nor is Dave Roberts probably. All they need is 3 strikes or just 1 pitch to go their way. But 1 pitch can blow this one open for the Mets as well. So it's a really delicate situation for the Dodgers after the hit by pitch of Taylor right there on the foot. And yeah, Wilson might be getting benched. It's not looking good for my former Badger, Russell Wilson. But yeah, and speaking of Wisconsin football, I know that my dad and I will be live Saturday evening for Wisconsin-Penn State. And Lincoln, I'm guessing we're going to be doing something together Saturday afternoon. Great afternoon slate and I guess evening slate with the A&M LSU game. I'm not going to be watching because Wisconsin's playing Penn State, obviously. But for the afternoon slate, it's going to be a great slate of games.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited. Yeah, we'll definitely have to stream it either at 12 o'clock or 3:30 start. Yeah, definitely take advantage of that, especially with Clemson on the bye week. I can just sit back and watch other people lose, not have to stress about my team losing.
Maybe you'll see a Notre Dame loss as they play Navy, which I know you'd be a fan of.
I would be happier than any Navy fan, any Navy cadet. Oh, I would be the happiest person in the world.
0-1 count to McNeil. He's going to send 1 foul. It is 0-2. One specific thing, and we have the sound down, so we can't really hear it, but I'm imagining it right now. There's something so iconic, different than anywhere else in baseball. Just the second you hear that first note of the Let's Go Dodgers on that organ, there's something that just clicks in my brain that's like, oh, this is awesome. So here we go. It's going to be an 0-2 2-out. Swing and a miss. That ends the top of the third. We head to the bottom of the inning. We'll take a quick break, but on the other side, more action in LA. Through 2.5. It is the Dodgers 2, the Mets 2, right here on Soldier Stories. back here for action in the bottom of the third. Man on and a 1-2 count to Tommy Edmond. And our friends from LA in the building saying, it's exciting here, guys. So loud. The crowd is lit, I bet. Baseball Road Trip, there's nothing like it. It's time for Dodger baseball. There's just nothing like it. And after a Steelers field goal, 7-6 to score. Lincoln, I was talking to my dad about this earlier pregame. There's something about LA also that's so special is Edmond jacks one to left field. This is going. It is gone. Tommy Edmond gives the Dodgers a 4-1 lead in the bottom of the third. His first homer of the postseason. And we saw just behind him the beautiful sunset in LA. It's just a gorgeous night for baseball, and it feels like that night. There's something in the air, it feels like, that suggests the Dodgers taking home this series.
What a home run! If the crowd was loud, if the crowd was loud during the break, I can imagine what it was now.
Yeah, it's a special crowd in a special place.
But I love when the postseason home runs, you see the guy hit it, and you instantly see everybody behind him in unison all stand up.
Yes, Max Muncy up here, no out, a 1-1 count to him. What I was going to say, though, is how there's something about LA, and it was this way with the movie industry, and at some points with the hip-hop industry as well, and the music side of it. But there's something so special, I guess, for our generation and Gen Z, in like how LA is the center of creation and of content. And I mean, all the people we used to watch on YouTube growing up, that's LA is the center of that. And it still feels like it is just the center of the social media world in so many ways, even more than New York, which is a huge, obviously, city hub. But LA is just the center, and there's something about that big city but West Coast feel that it has.
Yeah, I don't really know what it is about it, but you're 100% right. I mean, and even when you think about, you got LeBron out there,
Exactly.
You know, like the Lakers. Now the Chargers aren't as big, the Rams aren't as big, but the Dodgers huge, the Lakers huge. Like it's just incredible that, like, you know, I don't really know why it's like that, but you're 100% right on that.
Yeah, and a huge play for the Jets. Breece Hall just taking it. Is he going to take this to the house? He might. He's inside the 10 to the 5, and he's going to be just short there. As here at the bottom of the third, it looks like we're going to have a pitching change for the Mets. As Baseball Road Trooper says, Dodgers looking to break the curse. First team to score is 5-0 in this series. They've overcome the 0-1 tonight after the first inning. Yeah. I mean, if they can break that streak of the first team to score wins, then they might have it. And yeah, so I felt like on a stream recently I said that it was going to be the first team to score wins, and then I realized that was me at halftime of the prep soccer game on our doing the halftime show for the game when it was a 0-0 match at the half. Actually went to 6 penalty kicks, heartbreaking loss in the quarterfinals of the tournament. But that's what I was thinking of, because it's baseball is much different than soccer. And also with LA, talking about LeBron and with the Lakers and how much they love baseball. Also, LA loves soccer too. Like LAFC has a pretty big fan base. We've seen for the LAFC LA Galaxy games, like those fans have the smoke, and like it feels like a European atmosphere to a certain extent, which is awesome. But yeah, it's fun to see. I guess kind of the glitz and glamour of like Hollywood, and it feels right for LeBron to kind of be there. and with Shohei, like it feels like he fits the city really well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, all the stars are in LA. That's where
Exactly.
they're at. All of them. Yeah, the best basketball player ever, arguably out there. It's either him or MJ. No doubt
Yeah.
about that. At worst, the second best basketball player ever out there. Shohei, he's the best in the league right now, and he's well on his way. I mean, obviously, still needs to accomplish a few more things, but well on his way to being the greatest baseball player ever.
Yeah.
Just all the stars out there.
Yeah, and baseball Richard makes a great point after a wild pitch leads to a stolen base. Phil Maton on the mound now, 5 1/3 inning this postseason for him. But yeah, LA's Latino market is great for baseball and soccer. And I'll be honest, LA isn't my favorite city. Like of the West Coast city, of the California cities, it's probably my third favorite of the three. Like I love San Diego's just chill vibe. And I only spent a few hours there, but I just loved it. Like perfect weather, just very relaxed. San Francisco just feels like classic. It feels it's beautiful there. But like LA's the big city, and it feels it's fun. It feels fake at times, but generally like it's a good place to be. As we see the Jets now take a 13. That one is sent. Oh, it looked like off the bat the crowd rose like it was going to be gone, but it just lost all of its energy there. Went to left field, but the Jets take a 13-6 lead now over the Steelers here with 5:29 to go in the second quarter. But it looks like Aaron Rodgers might be hurt. Let's see what's going on. And I think he's fine. But yeah, so one out here, a man on second, and Eddie Paez comes up for the Dodgers. But yeah, I mean, it's just, as I said, it's not my favorite Cali city, but still there's something special about it, and that's what's cool there, is how special of a place it is, and all the great things that are about it, and yeah, so seeing what this is here, but yeah, so okay, this is cool. St. Joe's Prep news from my high school. Anthony Sacco, one of our linebackers, who's going to Notre Dame. He is going to be playing in the All-American Bowl on NBC. So that is cool to see. But yeah, and how about Notre Dame getting a great 4-star linebacker as well? He's been a beast for us this year. So here we got a man on second, 2 outs for the Dodgers. And yeah, so that one's going to be a bit outside. 1-0 to Will Smith. Will Smith is, I don't know. He's just kind of there. Like, he's not like a superstar, but he's good. He's just good. He's not great. He's not terrible. He's just good. He's there. And he sends one deep to center field. It is out of here. 6-1.
It was funny because I saw the home run right as you said. It's funny with Will Smith, and I thought you were about to say something bad about him. And I was like, man, wait till he sees this.
The Dodgers just pouring on the runs here in the third. But as I said, he's not a superstar, but he's good, and he just showed it there. He's just good. 16 to dead center. Man, this is awesome to watch. The Dodgers putting on a show. I mean, they called the 80s Lakers Showtime. This feels like Showtime under the lights of LA.
And I wonder, too, if he's not as much of a superstar because of the other guys in that lineup.
Yeah. For sure.
Like, I feel like if he plays somewhere else, he would be a lot bigger of a name.
Well, look at William Contreras in Milwaukee, right? Like, he gets a lot of hype, but him and Will Smith are pretty similar. I would take Contreras over Smith probably. At least I did in the All-Star ballot. I don't know how they did comparatively in the second half of the season, but William Contreras gets a big
Contreras is definitely more of a consistent hitter.
Yeah, but you get my point. Like from the perspective, Chris Taylor sends one to right. This one is caught by Starling Marte, just a few feet short of the warning track. But Will Smith and Tommy Edmond pouring on the runs for LA. We head to the fourth. It is LA 6, New York 1. We will see you on the other side of the break. Back here for some fourth inning action in LA. A man on and no out for Francisco Lindor. Thank you to Lincoln for joining us for those first 3 innings of action. He has school tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of this game with you all. But he had to go get some do some stuff before he heads to bed. So he's going to be doing that. And yes, that's where Lincoln went. Big Willie, yeah, Will Smith is awesome, dude. That homer was incredible to watch. But yeah. So 1-2 count here to Lindor. That one is jacked to left, but Teoscar Hernandez makes a nice play. 1 out now here. And the Jets went for 2, so they're up 15-6, by the way, it would look like, over the Steelers in that one. But yeah, so as I said, we will live on Sorgy Stories Saturday evening with my dad, and then we will be also live probably on Lincoln's channel, I'm guessing, Saturday afternoon. Notre Dame, Navy, Bama, Missouri both going on. It happens. We've had some bad streams. It's part of the thing. Baseball receiver, how parents, they're good. My mom might still be up. I'm not sure. My dad's for sure asleep. But my mom might be up. But yeah, all good here. Living the dream. 0-2 count here with 1 out and a man on for Brandon Nimmo. It's a 1-2 count to him. The pitch from Banda. Swing and a miss. 2 outs now in the top of the 4th. And Dave Roberts will be out to make a pitching change. This is a call to the bullpen presented by absolutely nobody. And coming on for LA will be a new reliever. Banda out of the game. We will take a quick break. On the other side, more action in the 4th inning from the City of Angels. Back here for return to action. Ryan Brazier on for the Dodgers. 2 outs, and that one is sent to center field. Vientos hits one all the way to center, and it's gone. 6-3 the lead now for the Dodgers after a Mark Vientos 2-run homer, and he stays hot. His 5th homer in October. The Mets cut the lead from a 5-run deficit to a 3-run. And yeah, Lincoln told me, I asked him, I was like, do you know who this is? And he said that it was you. So yeah. Man, this is... As Alonso grounds out, Alonso grounds out, so that will, and the top of the 4th will head to the bottom of the 4th inning on the other side. And yes, we'll see you all for the bottom of the inning. Back here for action in the bottom of the 4th as the Mets take the field. And we see in franchise history for most ribbies in a single postseason, that record owned by Mark Vientos. Shohei starts off the inning with a sky-high pop-up behind home plate. Alvarez under it. First out of the inning. And Shohei he hasn't looked great this playoffs. Still just hasn't looked like that. Guys, it's, of course, Edwin Diaz up here on the mound for New York. So he's got Shohei out, but now he's got to deal with Mookie Betts. That one's outside to start it off. 1-0 count. inside there, but it's going to be a foul tip. Strike one. Georgia, Texas is fun. Fun game, man. Fun game. I didn't watch any of it, but great upset. I physically couldn't watch any of it. I was at a football game myself, covering Prep Roman. Some good PCL action at college football's oldest stadium, Franklin Field. So 3-1 count now with one out to Mookie Betts. Teoscar Hernandez on deck for LA. The pitch. That one's just a bit high. And Mookie Betts on base. And here comes Teoscar. Diaz, the pitch. It's a strike. Stolen base, though, by Mookie Betts. And a man in scoring position for the Dodgers. Little bit of a high throw. McNeil just couldn't get them. Couldn't get it there. Tried, and he was close, but Betts is quick, man. Mookie is quick. Even though he's a vet, he's quick. Teoscar Hernandez up now for LA. Popped it up. Alonso under it. 2 outs now in the bottom of the 4th. Yeah, I saw that pick. Great pick there by Pittsburgh. Tommy Edmond now, we saw his homer. He's 2 for 2 on the day with 4 ribbies. Let's see what he can do with a man in scoring position this at-bat. The pitch from Diaz. Edmond wanted that 98-mile-per-hour fastball. A bit low, but he swung anyway. Fouled it off 0-1 count. He's batting .500 when batting cleanup this year. Pretty impressive. Swing and a miss. 0-2 count. 2 outs now. And Edwin Diaz trying to get out of this with no damage done. The pitch. Edmond sends one to center. Taylor backtracking. He's under it. That will end the bottom of the 4th. Through 4 innings. LA 6, New York 3. Game 6 of the NLCS continues on the other side right here on Sorgy Stories. here for action in the 5th inning in beautiful Los Angeles, California. Basketball's tough, dude. Like it's tough to do, but it's fun. Basketball's really fun to do. Baseball's probably the worst to do alone, but playoffs is easier because there's constant action. And it's much more stressful. But baseball is tough to do alone. Basketball is easy to do alone. I prefer actually doing basketball alone than with anyone, another person. Football is easy to do alone. It depends with football and basketball. If you have a good, if you're doing it with someone like good, like it's easy. It works pretty seamlessly. Hockey's not that bad. Soccer's not that bad either. It's not. Baseball's like just the toughest one to do. Yeah, and touchdown Steelers there. So yeah, here we go. Winker sends one to right. It will drop, and a man on base for New York here in the top of the 5th. Brazier still on the mound for LA. 5 of you in here. If you have not commented yet, please do. And even if you have commented, keep the comments coming. Let us know that you're still with us on this gorgeous Sunday night. And yes, Starling Marte up here with a man on and no out. Yeah, guards were limited. Dude, it was a great season for you guys. No one thought you guys were going to the World Series. Not like no one did. Clase was garbage in the playoffs. Like that one game when you guys tied it and then hit, like it was awesome. But like, for being honest, like no one expected. No one thought the Brewers were going to go to the World Series with me because I'm crazy. But I love my team, right? So I said whoever. I said the Phillies were going to be beaten, and they were. It was just a question of who's going to win that Brewers-Mets wild card series. And I also thought the Padres were going to like it. I thought all those things were going to align for the Brewers, but I was wrong about the Dodgers. So that was my biggest thing. I was wrong. I picked the Phillies to lose in the DS. It made sense because as I thought going into that series they were going to lose game 1, and guess what they did? In LA, it has dropped below 70, 69, feeling like 67. So now you might see the fans putting on a hoodie or something. For people in LA, 67 feels like temperature's pretty cold. For Wisconsinites, it's easy. For our Midwestern friends, like baseball road tripper up in Minnesota. Not good. You guys are done. You guys, I think you guys lose at LSU. You finish 9-3, miss the playoffs. That's it. I think that's it. And that's going to be Tyrone Taylor sending one to right center. Pius calls off the right fielder Betts. So a man on first with 2 outs here. But yeah, I mean, I think the SEC championship is going to be Texas Georgia again, and I think you'll have like 4 or 5 SEC teams finish 10-2. If I had to predict the playoff right now, I think it looks something like, I don't know, what did I have earlier for my predictions? I have it here. There it is. I've got Oregon, Georgia, BYU, Miami, Penn State, Texas, Ohio State, Clemson, Notre Dame, Iowa State, A&M, Boise State. That's my 12-team playoff for this year. 0-2 count, 2 outs here to Jeff McNeil. You got to admit, no, dude, Stephen Vogel's a great man. I thought he was going to be a great manager going into this year, dude. Like, I met the guy. Like, he's a good dude. And he was a really solid ball player. Enjoyed his time in Milwaukee. And, yeah, all the respect for Stephen Vogt. Like, I think the Guardians are going to be good. I was just saying, I don't really think anyone thought they were going to win the World Series going into this year. They're really solid. There's a difference between being a really, really solid team and being a favorite to win the World Series. But I didn't think the Yankees were going either. I thought it was going to be the O's. I felt pretty good about the Orioles, and then, well, they got eliminated first round as well. So, right, these playoffs have just been so unpredictable. But yeah, 2-2-2 out here. Jeff McNeil up to the plate in a huge at-bat in the fifth. McNeil sends one to right. Bats has it. That will be the end of the top of the fifth. Ryan Brazier gets out of it through 4.5. It's the Dodgers 6. The Mets 3 right here on Sorgy Stories. Bottom of the fifth action. Edwin Diaz back out for another inning under the night sky of Los Angeles. Max Muncy up. He did not go. 1-1 count out of the first baseman for LA. Muncy sends one to first. Beautiful play by Alonso. Diaz gets there in time for the first down of the inning. And yeah, Diaz barely gets there in time. Alonso makes a great play, and Diaz able to save it there. So, 0-2-1 out here to Kike Hernandez. Edwin Diaz looking for a huge 3 outs here in the 5th. That one's outside, 1-2. Pitch to Kike is a ball again, 2-2 count. And Kike swing and a miss, 2 outs down. In the 5th. So 1-0 count to Andy Pages here. In the bottom of the 5th, Pages 0 for 2 today, but a 4 for 14 this series with 2 homers and 4 ribbies. Pages sends one right to Lindor. That will end the 5th inning. On the other side, more action from LA. Through 5, it's the Dodgers 6, the Mets 3, right here on Sorgy Stories. Here for action in the 6th. Francisco Alvarez gets a hit to start off the top of the inning as we enter something I like to call night mode. Here in LA, the skies are dark, but as you can see, the LA skyline looks absolutely gorgeous at night. And Edmond thought he had it, couldn't quite get there. And Alvarez just got it right over Edmond's glove to get on here. Evan Phillips on the bump for the Dodgers here to face Francisco Lindor. Lindor sends one to shallow left field. Hernandez comes in. He has the out. Alvarez back to first. And one out here in the top of the sixth for LA. Folks, thank you for sticking with us on this gorgeous evening. Feels right for playoff baseball, doesn't it? Feels just right. A close game. I mean, if the Mets anything's close, you could be 10-0 and be close, I swear, with this team. But Brandon Nimmo here up to the plate with a man on and one out in the sixth. Phillips the pitch. That one's low. 1-0 count to Brandon Nimmo. Phillips the pitch. Outside, 2-0 count. Good play by Will Smith to keep the ball from becoming a wild pitch. A 2.94 ERA in 49 innings over the year for Evan Phillips. And Nimmo sends one sky high to center. Pajes is under it for the second out of the inning. So here comes Mark Vientos. He had a homer in the fourth. He looks to get this deficit to maybe one run. I mean, an RBI cuts it to a 2-run game. A homer cuts it to a 1-run game. Here comes the Mets' hottest bat. That one's outside. The sweeper there couldn't fall into the zone. 1-0. Count, 2 outs. Phillips, the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1 count now here with 2 outs in the sixth. Phillips looking to get out of this with a man on first, trying to avoid any damage done. That one's low, 2-1 count on the 98-mile-per-hour fastball. Phillips here with his 9th pitch of the night. That one is low and outside. 3-1 count with 2 outs in the sixth. Pete Alonso up here. Phillips needs a strike to prevent 2 guys getting on. Vientos ready. Phillips the pitch. It is high and 2 on now. 2 on for Pete Alonso, the polar bear. He hit a homer in the 9th against Devin Williams in Game 3 of the wild card, and in Game 5 of the NLCS was a huge part of that Mets crazy game there in Game 5 for them on Friday night with his homer. helping keep their season alive and bringing it to tonight. The crowd's on their feet. 2 outs. It's Phillips versus Alonso with 2 guys on. Baseball retro, I don't love him. Don't love him. But he's a really good baseball player and a good human being, too. Give him credit for that. Vote. I agree, dude. Like, Steven Vogt, Pat Murphy are your 2 managers of the year. AL and NL. No question about it. No debate. Like, those are the 2 guys. Fatted out. 2-0 count now to Alonso. So far through games 5 and 6, Alonso 4 for 5. Swinging his bat hot when the Mets need it most. He can tie the game with 1 swing. Looks at that one, and now it's 3-0. So Alonso should have the green light here if Phillips throws a strike. Alonso likes hitting him to left, but he can drive one to deep center as well. Has a bit of power to right field, but not much. And that's a walk. So now the bases are loaded for Jesse Winker with 2 outs in the 6th. So pitching mound visit, not pitching change, but a mound visit here for LA. And this is so here we go, 2 outs. And the bases are juiced here for Jesse Winker. Alvarez at third base is clapping. Alonso and Vientos on base as well. Phillips ready, Winker ready. The pitch, low. Not a great start to the AB. If you're Phillips here, trying to get out of this jam. Phillips the pitch. That will get in there for a strike. Winker says he agrees with the call. Was surprised it was called a strike, but shook his head like, yeah, I get it. Winker's going to foul that one off. So now the Dodgers and Evan Phillips 1 strike away from getting out of this jam and keeping the deficit at 3 for the Mets and trying to make it pretty hard for them to make a comeback. Winker sends one to left. Teoscar has it. The Dodgers get out of the jam. We will head to the bottom of the 6th. And the Dodgers are 9 outs away from heading to the World Series. On the other side, more 6th inning action from LA. We will be right back. Welcome back in, folks. It is a gorgeous evening with all the stars. Magic Johnson, Tom Hanks, Dave Winfield, Oral Hershiser, Rob Lowe, all in attendance as Ryan Stanek takes the mound for New York in the bottom of the sixth. He's got 8 innings pitched so far this postseason. This might, depending on how far you can get, this could be 9. Maybe he goes 2 innings. Who knows? Will Smith hit a homer earlier. We'll see what he can do here as he looks to add to this Dodgers lead of 3 runs. Stanek the pitch. That one falls low. Four-seam fastball there called a ball. So it is 3-0 now. The count to Will Smith. In Pittsburgh, Sunday Night Football has entered the third quarter, and Pittsburgh driving down 2 to the Jets, 15-13 with about 9 minutes to go there. But here the 3-0 will be a walk. So now Will Smith is on for LA in the 6th inning. And as I mentioned before, the Dodgers now only 9 outs away from being champions of the National League and bringing home another pennant to Dodger Stadium where they're playing this game. It would be another win on home field for LA. The Dodgers, of course, won in 2020 in Texas, but potentially in the World Series would be able to win on their home turf, which they have not done in so long. Taylor shows bunt. He pulls back. Ball is the call there. And Shohei Ohtani on deck for LA. Taylor shows bunt again. Holds it for a ball there. 2-0 count with no out. And a man on first for Chris Taylor, the long time Dodger. This dude can play all over. I've seen him play third, short, second, outfield. He can do it all. He's probably pitched at some point, right? Chris Taylor bunts. It is foul. So 2-1 count here. So we see the Dodgers' great manager Dave Roberts looking on here in his home dugout. And Taylor just kind of chopped it down the line. Tried to place it down very delicately, and it didn't really go his way. He started to run it out, and then he was like, yeah, it's going to be foul. So 2-1 count now to Taylor. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Pitch from Stanek. It's another bunt. This one's going to be fair. They go to second for the out. He is safe. And there are 2 on now for LA after a beautiful bunt by Chris Taylor. So now 2 on and no out. Bring Shohei Ohtani to the plate. And if you're the Mets, you must be scared right now. If you're a Mets fan, I can only imagine how nervous you must be. Seeing what's going on. Dave Roberts just put his hands up like, yes! Seeing that. And yep, Smith was safe. He ran it out really well. Barely beat the throw. It's almost like a stolen base, essentially. And Pete Alonso just had this look on his face there. So here comes the presumed MVP of the National League. The $700 million man. Shohei Ohtani. First pitch. Grounded foul. A 1 count to Shohei. He's 1 for 3 on the day. 7 for 21 this series with 2 homers and 5 RBI. So he's been better this series than he previously was. And we see Magic Johnson wearing a Jackie Robinson jersey looking on as Shohei comes to the plate. That one's low, but swung at 0-2 in time called by the generational player, the superstar, one of the best to ever play the game. And what a moment would it be for him here to have his big playoff moment and bring Dodger Stadium to their feet once again. The pitch. That one's low. It's a 1-2 count now to Shohei. Two, no out. And 2 on here. Stanek versus Ohtani. Dodger Stadium is on its feet. The entire crowd anticipating every pitch. That one almost hit him. Full count to Ohtani. He'll step out again here. As that almost hit him. Pitch. Shohei sends one foul and stays alive. And this feels like it's going to end in one of 2 ways. Either Shohei's jacking one out of here or he's striking out. We'll see which one. He sends one to center. It will drop. Taylor can't make a play. Will Smith will come home. 7-3 Dodgers lead in the 6th. And Taylor just couldn't make that play. And Will Smith comes home, and now guys on first and second for LA. Will, welcome in. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well as well. Shohei, more like show off. Yeah, he's saying 18 for 22 with RISP. It's incredible. As we're seeing a crazy return all the way to the 1-yard line, it looks like there for Pittsburgh. It's Sunday football. Even though I don't usually root for the Mets, they're a fun team of the run, and here Dodgers will beat the Yankees in the World Series in 6. I'm okay with it. I'm going to just enjoy the World Series, man. I'm just going to sit back, relax, and enjoy it. No matter who's playing. It's going to be fun to watch. I won't be able to watch Game 1. I probably won't watch Game 2 either. I'll watch part of the game too, but I'm going to be watching Wisconsin Penn State. But I'm going to watch every other game I can. Other than those two. Between commentating here on YouTube for Wisconsin Penn State and then commentating for the Prep Bonner game next Friday night. Final game of the regular season for my high school. Go Prep. Big top 7 battle in the state of Pennsylvania. So we're sticking through the break here, I think. Actually, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back on the other side. And, yeah, we will head to – we'll see how long this lasts. If there's another ad after this, then we'll – all right, no, we're sticking here. We're going to stay here. So here we go. Back here, Reed Garrett takes over for Ryan Stanek. He's got 7 to 3 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, 10 Ks in 6 games this postseason. Mookie Betts up to the plate for LA with 2 men on and no out. The pitch. Low and outside. 1-0 count. Folks, keep the comments coming. Give your thoughts on this game. Give your thoughts on these playoffs. They have been awesome. And this is an example of a great high-scoring game between 2 awesome teams to watch. The pickoff attempt at second, not successful. Taylor able to get back to the bag in time. Even as a veteran, he still got some speed in those old legs. And able to slide right back in there. It was close, but he got it. So here we go. 1-0 count. No out for Mookie Betts. Can Betts expand this lead with Taylor and Shohei on base here in the 6th? Pitch, swing, and a miss. 1-1 count. So here we go. 1-1. Betts right to third, but he dropped it. They get the out at second, but guys on the corners now. Vientos couldn't hold on. First and third for LA with 1 out. So Vientos lost it there under him. Made a beautiful play, but it came out at the end. So a man able to advance to third, and Betts gets to first. So men on the corners for Teoscar Hernandez. He's got 2 singles. 2 for 3 on the day. The pitch. Teoscar hits one right to Lindor, who makes a beautiful play. Francisco Lindor. What a diving play by the Mets shortstop. He extends and comes down with it for the second out of the inning. And immediately got back to his feet with a smile on his face. Reed Garrett liked it. The Mets faithful watching throughout all of the lands, I guess, probably liked it. And now up is Tommy Edmond. He had the 2-run homer earlier. He had the double earlier. Can the man of the hour come up once again with 2 on for the Dodgers? Edmond steps out, back in the box now. He's got 11 RBIs. That's tied for most RBIs in a Dodgers postseason series with Corey Seager. That's a strike down the middle and 1 count. MVP versus MVP, exactly. Yeah, Lindor is insane. It's a great series. Great series. That one's low. Dropped by Alvarez. Betts will advance to second on an even 1-1 count here. So 2 guys in scoring position for Tommy Edmond in the 6th. Here comes the 1-1. That's low. 2-1 count now to the Dodgers shortstop. Chris Taylor at third. Mookie Betts at second. The 2-1 count. Edmond chops it to second. And that is the third out to end the 6th. It is the Dodgers 7, the Mets 3. We're heading to the 7th with the Dodgers just 9 outs away from advancing to the Fall Classic. Back here for action in the 7th inning. The Dodgers with a 4-run lead over the Mets. Marte starts it off with a grounder to third. A long throw from Kike Hernandez at third to Max Muncy at first. But it's complete. And there is an out. And now the Dodgers just 8 outs away from advancing to the Fall Classic. Yes, Daniel Hudson, the former Nat, great pitcher. He's got that postseason experience. Heck of a win for the Pack. Yeah, dude, it was an awesome one. The Lions, too, with a great win over Minnesota. Watched both of those this afternoon. They were both awesome. But for McMahon, his first game back, and he just drills that and does the Lambeau leap. It was a cool moment in Green Bay. Top of the 7th, 1-0 count, 1 out to Tyrone Taylor. That is a strike right down the middle, and it's a 1-1 count to Tyrone. Meanwhile, on Sunday Night Football, Pittsburgh leads 22-15, 7:04 to go in the third quarter. Pitch from Hudson now. Grounder foul. 1-2 count. So to see your Commanders face the Bears. Glad to hear Jaden Daniels is okay. Yeah, that'll be a really good game. Hopefully your guys can pull that one out. That one just low, so a 2-2 count here with 1 out to the Mets center fielder. Oh, that was a strike, man. That was a strike. Taylor sends one to left. It will drop it. A man on for the Dodgers. Here in the 7th, looking to get some life going. They need a rally. We'll see if they can get one here. Breaking news out of the WNBA. The Liberty beat the Lynx to capture their first ever WNBA title after an overtime win. How cool was that for them? That one sent into the gap for McNeil. Taylor to third. Guys on the corners for the Mets. And New York has life in the 7th. Francisco Alvarez up to the plate with Francisco Lindor on deck. And just when you thought they were out of hope and this was the end of the road, the Mets show some sort of life. We'll see what they can do with it. The pitch, Alvarez sends this one to right. Betts is under it. Tyrone Taylor will come home. It is 7-4 Dodgers. With 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. So now the Dodgers give up a run for an out, but still up 3 with a man on first and 2 outs in the 7th inning. The pitch to Lindor, right down the middle, strike 1. So 7 outs needed for the Dodgers to advance here. But Lindor is 1 for 3 with a walk, a single, and he's come across the plate 1 time, 7 for 23 this series with a homer. Hudson, his 11th pitch of the evening. Lindor sends that one foul. It's 0-2. And here we go. The Dodger faithful on their feet. Hudson versus Lindor. A man on with 2 outs. 1 swing makes this a 1-run game. That's low. 1-2 the count. 1 swing cuts it to 1 run. 1 out cuts the Dodgers outs needed 6. The pitch. It's high. 2-2 the count. We are even. And yes, that, if I didn't talk about this, yes, that, I didn't see it, but I heard it was scary. But I was glad to see his mom say that he was okay. Huge first down there for Breece Hall in the Sunday Night Football game. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Lindor. We will stretch in LA. But on the other side, the Dodgers look to expand their lead through 6.5. The Mets, 4 runs on 9 hits. The Dodgers, 7 runs thus far through the game on, as I look to see how many hits they have quickly, 8 hits. We will be back for the bottom of the inning, just on the other side of this break. We are back for the bottom of the 7th in LA on a gorgeous evening for baseball. The weather, clear skies, high 60s. Feels like LA baseball weather. Anthony Sorgi here with you as Kodai Senga takes the mound for the Mets through this postseason, 3 1/3 innings thus far. Welcome into the chat, the Moody Artist and the Toll Road. What's up, everyone? Welcome in. An 0-1 count to Max Muncy with no out. The pitch, that one's high. 1-1. The pitch to Muncy. That one a strike, 1-2 count. With no out here at the bottom of the 7th. And that one, as Toll says, hit him. So a man on with no out here at the bottom of the 7th. Muncy feeling that one. Will have a great night, sir. Talk to you later, man. Good luck to the Irish this week against Navy. Big game up at MetLife. Blake Treinen in the pan for LA. So bottom of the 7th, no out. And a man on here as Kodai Senga, as I mentioned, on the mound. The Mets starter looking to get some relief outs. Yeah, I mean, either way, it's a great series. That's going to be bobbled by McNeil. Lindor gets there for the out at second, but a man still on base here with one out for the Dodgers. But yeah, Yankees, Dodgers, or Yankees, Mets. Either one's going to be awesome, but it looks right now like, I mean, considering we're 6 outs away from a Yankees-Dodgers series, that's what we're going to get unless the Mets pull off another one of these miraculous comebacks as they have the last 2 series through this playoffs. So bottom of the 7th, one out for Andy Pages. Pages here looking to expand the lead. That one falls in there for a strike, 0-1 count. Pages 0 for 3 on the day. Pages here just looking for some life. Swing and a miss, 0-2 count. Dave Roberts looking on anxiously. 0-2-1 out to Pages. The pitch, it is low. Kike Hernandez won't run. So 1-2 count, one out here. Kodai Senga versus Andy Pages. Kike Hernandez gets back with plenty of time as Senga tried to pick him off. Exactly, Toll. It would be incredible to watch. And I talked earlier about if we got that series. Think about 7 games possibly, as that one's foul, played between Dodger Stadium and Yankee Stadium, the 2 most special, at least watching on TV. Like, there's nothing like watching baseball in those 2 places. As the sun sets in LA and prime time in New York under the lights of the Bronx. Something magical about those 2 atmospheres. And as we see nighttime in LA now, the Dodgers looking to expand their lead. Swing and a miss from Pages. So 2 out here in the 7th. Now up it is the catcher, Will Smith. He's 1 for 2 on the day. The pitch. Smith sends one to left field. That will end the inning as Nimmo was under it. Getting ready to head to the 8th. The Dodgers look to get 3 outs closer to advancing to the World Series. We will be right back after the break. are back for 8th inning action in LA. The Dodgers 6 outs away from heading to the World Series. And to start off the inning, it will be Brandon Nimmo for the Mets. On for the Dodgers is Blake Treinen. 6 innings pitched. No earned runs. 7 strikeouts through 5 games this postseason. The vet on the mound to face Nimmo. Nimmo for 4 on the day, so in his 5th and what will probably be his final at bat. He's 4 for 23 with no homers and 2 ribbies this season as the Mets left fielder to this postseason. Treinen, the pitch, just a bit high, so a 1-1 count to Brandon Nimmo. The pitch, that one's going to fall low. Did he go? 1-2 count here. So it seems like he did, I guess. Treinen ready to go. The pitch. Swing and a miss. The Dodgers are 5 outs away. Excuse me here as I fix our lighting. There we go. I think we're good now. Are we? Yes, we are. Awesome. Mark Vientos up to the mound. Up to the plate now. Excuse me, not the mound. 1-0 count to him with 1 out here in the 8th. Treinen the pitch. Vientos sends one sky high and into the seats. The 1-1 count to Vientos. Swing and a miss. 1-2 count with 1 out here as the Dodgers look to get closer to victory. Swing and a miss. Down goes the Mets' hottest hitter. And a breath of fresh air in LA for the moment. As I said, that's the Mets' hottest bat that just struck out there. So a huge out for the Dodgers in the 8th. Treinen ready to go against Pete Alonso. Starts off with a strike, and the Dodger faithful starting to rise to their feet a bit here. Pete Alonso's Pete Alonso, and if there's a guy the Mets would trust for a big moment, it might as well be him. The pitch is outside. 1-1 the count with 2 outs. Treinen. The pitch to Alonso. He fouls it off himself, and Pete Alonso is hurt. Pete Alonso is hurt. He fouled it off of his leg. This does not look good. Able to walk okay, and he gets up, but you can tell he's dealing with something as he just hit that one. Or was it his foot? Ankle, maybe? Let's see. Oh, right off his foot. So 1-2, Alonso seems like he's getting ready to go now. Adjusting the batting gloves. He looks still pretty comfortable after just shaking off that pain in his foot. 1-2, 2 out. Trying it on the mound. Alonso in the box. Here we go. The pitch. Swing and a miss. And the Dodgers are 3 outs away from heading to the World Series. On the other side, we are back for the bottom of the 8th in LA. It's the Dodgers 7, the Mets 4 in Game 6 of the NLCS. Back. It is the bottom of the 8th in LA. Chris Taylor up to the plate. As my cash just went out, so we're going to fix this. We are having technical difficulties here on Sorky Stories.
Pitches to go 1, 2, 3.
Excuse me for the sound there. There we go. Okay, we're good now. And Toll saying no, Miller Park and Great American, but they are. I'll have to look at it later. Although after this game, I'm going to sleep. I'm getting my sleep in tonight. 3-0 count to Shohei Ohtani with a man on and no out. Shohei, I saw Jeff Passan put this out. 18 for 22 in his last 22 at-bats. That is an 8.18 average as well. Excuse me. Shohei Ohtani is batting .818 in his last 22 at-bats with RISP. It's insane. It is just absolutely insane. And I think that's what Tony was talking about earlier. That's what he was talking about, was 18 for 22 RISP these playoffs. Insane. 3-2 count, no out to Ohtani. Here we go. Senga versus Ohtani. Looks for the pickoff at first, can't get it. Yeah, up 15. I've seen crazier things happen. But yeah, Shohei Ohtani walks. 2 on and no out for LA. Game 1 of the World Series will be Friday night. First pitch at 8 p.m. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a really fun World Series. So here we go. Senga now to face Mookie Betts, the superstar outfielder for the Dodgers. Betts. And I don't know what happened on the first pitch. Because my thing went out. So we gotta go fix this again. There we go. Okay, I think we're okay now. Hopefully I didn't miss anything monumental. Betts, did he go? No, he did not. 1-1 count to Mookie Betts. 2 on in the bottom of the 8th. No outs. Here we go. The 1-1 pitch. Strike 2, and it's 1-2 now to Mookie. Senga, for him, it'll be his 23rd pitch. The 1-2. That one's low. 2-2 the count. Here between Senga and Betts. Both Taylor and Ohtani on for LA. Dave Robertson, Freddie Freeman looking on from the dugout. Three-two count. It's full on Betts. Game's not going to be good. It's going to be a blowout. Look at what Indiana did to him. It's not even going to be close. 3-2 count, no out. Here we go. Betts sends one to left. It is going. It is off the wall. Chris Taylor will come home. Shohei into third. And 2 guys are in scoring position after a Mookie Betts RBI double. The Dodger faithful are alive and well in the 8th. And an insurance run for LA. It felt like they already had it sealed up. But again, with this Mets team, nothing is sure as Teoscar sends one to Starling Marte. Ohtani comes home. It's a 5-run lead for the Dodgers in the 8th. Another run for LA sends Dodger Stadium and into a frenzy. It's not over till it's over in these MLB playoffs. We've learned that we've seen that way too many times this postseason. But it feels like the Dodgers are going to win this. That one's low to Edmond. 1-0 count. The 1-0 to Edmond. Grounds it to first. They go for home. He's out there. So Betts is off the base pass, but a man on first with 2 outs for LA. Max Muncy on deck for the Dodgers. Max Muncy up to the plate now with 2 outs. He's 0 for 2 tonight. That is a ball. Muncy was able to hold. So 1-0 count now to the Dodger first baseman. Muncy has been there since the start. We remember him from back in 17. He's been there ever since. And Max Muncy looking to bring some insurance to LA here. 1-1 count to Muncy. Senga now with 30 pitches on the night. The pitch. That one is a ball. 2-1 the count now to Max Muncy. The pitch, that one also low. Three-one count to Muncy here. That one is a walk. 2 on, 2 out in the 8th. Kodai Senga now has 2 on as he looks to prevent any more insurance. But Kike Hernandez comes to the plate for LA. The pitch. Kike sends one into the gap. On his way home is Edmond. Into third is Muncy. And 10-4, your score in the 8th. The blue towels are waving. It feels like we're this much closer to a Dodger dub. So, wow, what a game this has been in LA. Hard fought from both sides here. And what an entertaining matchup in the City of Angels. As we go to update the score here. In what has been an incredible matchup. And there you see the score. 10-4 here in the bottom of the 8th. Wow. Just wow. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side, more action here in LA. Back here for more action. Jose Butto on the mound for the Mets, facing Andy Paez. Paez here, 0-1 count, 2 outs, man on third, man on first. Did he go? No, he didn't. The count's 1-1. Paez 0 for 4 on the day, 4 for 16 with 2 homers this postseason. This series. And the Dodgers center fielder looks to bring even more insurance in this game. Pitch. Paez sends one to center. Tyrone Taylor under it. And the Dodgers are 3 outs away from heading back to the World Series. This is it. The Dodgers are 3 outs away from victory and heading to the World Series. Anthony Stormzy back with you for the ninth as Blake Trinan is back on the bump for LA. He'll face Jesse Winker, the leadoff man for New York, with Starling Marte and Tyrone Taylor due up next. Kevin Kiermaier replaces Andy Paes in center field. And it is a 1-1 count now to Winker in the top of the ninth. The last time the Dodgers were in the World Series, 2020. The last time before that, 18 and 17. They look to continue this run of postseason success as Shohei Ohtani and his teammates look on in the Dodger dugout. It's a 2-2 count to Jesse Winker. The pitch, swing and a miss. And the Dodgers are 2 outs away from winning the pennant. Marte up now, the pitch. That one's low. The count 1-0 with an out here in the ninth. Strike here. Strike one there on Marte. The count is 1-1 with an out here in the ninth. Trinan ready to go. The pitch. Marte grounds it to Trinan. He throws to first. The Dodgers are an out away. And everyone in Dodger Stadium climbs to their feet as they prepare to celebrate. Tyrone Taylor, the last hope for the Mets for the season. It's a 1-0 count to Taylor after a ball. He's 1 for 3 on the day. He's been hit by a pitch and he's got a single. The pitch. Strike one. 1-1 the count to the Mets center fielder. Trinan pitch the 8th. He's pitching the 9th too. The pitch. And the Dodgers are 1 strike away from victory. Taylor ready. Trinan ready. The pitch. Taylor sends one to center. It will fall for a single. This one is not over yet. So now the Mets say this one ain't over, as they'll get an opportunity for another man to come to the plate down to their last out. McNeil up to the dish. Pitch from Trinan is a strike right down the middle. 0-1 count as Taylor steals a bag. Trinan the pitch. This one is going to fall, and the Mets score a run. It's 10-5. after an RBI single from Jeff McNeil. The Mets showing some resemblance of life down to their last out. And the second baseman, Chris Taylor, so close to coming down with that one. He just could not get there. And now Francisco Alvarez up to the dish with 2 outs and a man on. Dodger Stadium still waiting for celebration on this Sunday evening. Both dugouts look on in anticipation as Trinan will face Alvarez. The first pitch of the at-bat. Alvarez grounds one to Taylor. It is over. The Dodgers are National League champions. They will play the Yankees in the World Series. It is a party in LA. Their 22nd World Series appearance. That is the most in the history of the National League. And as the Dodgers celebrate on the field, the Mets run ends. The end of the road for New York comes in Game 6 of the NLCS on a Francisco Alvarez groundout. What a great run. A historic run for this Mets team. Going from 6th seed, Pete Alonso with that 9th inning homer off of Devin Williams. Francisco Lindor with his homer against the Phillies. They survived Game 5. They didn't survive LA in Game 6. And for the first time since 1981, Dodgers, Yankees, World Series. A battle between the two biggest markets in baseball. A battle between the two most historic franchises in baseball. It is going to be an incredible fall classic. But that doesn't start until Friday, folks. So enjoy your evening, enjoy your weeks. And Friday night, we're back at it. Game 1 of the World Series. Just 5 days away. Have a great night, folks.